Hi everyone, I'm Leon Thomas Lewick. Here's your political news roundup for Monday, October 15th. Arizona's controversial voter registration law will be reviewed by the U.S. Supreme Court, but the case won't be decided until after this year's election. The High Court agreed to take on the case, in which the state would demand that voters show proof of U.S. citizenship to vote in federal elections. Arizona voters passed a ballot initiative requiring the ID 8 years ago. Challenges to the law have been working their way through the court system since then, and there is currently an injunction temporarily halting its enforcement. Voter ID will not be enforced until there is a decision, and the Supreme Court won't hear the case in time for this November's elections. Much of Congress is in mourning today over the death of a man who had a major influence on the current shape of the Supreme Court. Former Pennsylvania Senator Arlen Specter died of cancer on Sunday at age 82. His role on the Judiciary Committee was considered pivotal in the confirmation of Clarence Thomas, the denial of a seat to nominee Robert Bork, and approval of John Roberts as the current Chief Justice. Specter was a Democrat who turned Republican, then ran in his last election as a Democrat, but maintained an independent voting record during 5 terms in the Senate. President Obama's re-election team is hoping the president's performance in tomorrow night's debate reverses the recent trend in the polls. That trend has been decidedly pro-Mitt Romney. A poll by Politico and George Washington University found 51% of voters in the so-called battleground states now view Romney favorably. That compares with 47% before the first debate. An NBC News Washington poll post today also showed enthusiasm among Romney supporters as having shifted higher by 11%. And overseas, the European Union is ratcheting up the economic pressure on Iran. The EU approved a new set of sanctions against Iran because of its continuing nuclear development program. The new sanctions include a ban on receiving gas exports from Iran and a freeze on transactions with Iranian banks. Sanctions by the U.S. and others have already had a devastating economic effect on Iran, including a drop of more than 50% in the value of its currency. That's your political news roundup for Monday, October 15th. I'm Leon Thomas Lewick. Stay logged on to rttnews.com for the latest political, economic, and stock market news all day long.